I'll let you know when we're live.
Yes. I think you're frozen, Linda. Looks like some technical difficulties this morning. Make sure everybody has the names on there that they want to show. It's like everybody's having problems. Our folks from Washington County has problems, and that's too bad. This committee hasn't had many technical glitches this year, so.
Great leadership.
What's that? Thanks.
Great leadership.
Thanks. We'll pass that along to Cheryl and Linda. I don't know what happened to Linda. She can't get back on, and neither can Chris by the looks.
Went to get a coffee.
I don't know. He said he was having trouble with his audio and he's going to log out and log back in, but
Oh, I am the host. Okay.
all right. So we got
Live stream is going.
live stream is okay.
Yes.
All right. Then we will begin. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jim Dill. I'm the Senate Chair of the Agriculture Conservation and Forestry Committee. And we will get started here in a second. We have, first thing we have is a confirmation. Then we also have the Baxter State Park budgets, a reconsideration of one of our votes on a carryover bill. And then finally, our analyst Karen Netto has some language reviews. So with that, we'll start with introductions, and I will start with Senator Black.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Senator Black from Wilton. I represent Senate District 17, which is all of Franklin County in 4 towns in Quebec.
Representative Schofield.
Good morning, Senator Dill and everyone. My name is Tom Schofield. I represent House District 112. I live in the town of Weld, and I represent 17 towns and townships in Franklin and Somerset counties, the High Peaks region of Maine, And I, along with 3 others from Franklin County, are privileged to be on this committee. Good morning.
Morning. Representative McCray.
Good morning, folks. I'm Representative Dave McCray, and I am representing the good people of District 148 up here in the central part of Aroostook County. Thank you.
Representative Hall.
Thank you, Senator Dale. Good morning. I'm Representative Randy Hall from East Dixfield in the town of Wilton, and I represent District 114, 6 towns in southern Franklin County.
Representative Landry.
Good morning. Thank you, Senator Dill. I'm Scott Landry. I live in Farmington. I represent the towns of Farmington and New Sharon, the rest of Franklin County, District 113.
Representative Bernard.
Thank you, Senator Dill. I'm Sue Bernard. I represent District 149, which includes Caribou, Presque Isle. Excuse me. Let's try again. I'm not going to take your district, Representative Underwood. Caribou, New Sweden, and Westmanland, located in Aroostook County, the Crown of Maine.
Representative Gifford.
Good morning. My name is Jeff Gifford, and I represent District 142 and 7 little towns in Penobscot County.
Representative O'Neill.
Good morning. Thanks, Mr. Chair. My name is Maggie O'Neill, and I represent House District 15, which is in Tonka.
Representative Underwood.
I'm Joseph Underwood, representative of District 147 here in Aroostook County. Good to see everybody this morning.
Senator Maxman.
Hi there, I'm Chloe Maxman. I represent Senate District 13, which is all of Lincoln County except for Dresden, plus Washington and Windsor.
Representative Pluker.
Morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Bill Pluker. I represent Warren, Hope, Appleton, and part of Union, House District 95.
Well, again, good morning, everyone. And I'm Jim Dill. I represent Senate District number 5, Northern Penobscot County. Our clerk for today is Linda LaCroix. And eventually our analyst who will be joining us after the confirmation is Karen Neto. And with that, I will go right into our confirmation hearing. I do have a script which I will read and go by. So we will begin. This is a public hearing of the Joint Standing Committee on Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry for the purpose of considering the nomination by the Washington County Commissioners of Ms. Elizabeth Fitzgerald of Machiasport for reappointment to the Maine Land Use Planning Commission. Under the law and joint rules of the legislature, this committee is required to hold this public hearing and to recommend confirmation or denial of the nominee by a majority vote of the committee members present and voting. As chairs of the committee, we will then send written notice of the committee's recommendation to the President of the Senate. The committee will hear testimony from and have an opportunity to question the commissioners or their representative, the nominee, and any other persons present who wish to speak for or against the nomination. This meeting is currently being live streamed on the committee's YouTube channel. This means that anyone who is a participant in the meeting via Zoom can be seen and also heard if their microphone is unmuted. People testifying cannot be seen or heard until they are called upon to speak. This meeting will be recorded and available to view on the committee's YouTube channel soon after the meeting has concluded. Next is motion to confirm. Pursuant to Title III, Section 157 of the Maine statutes requires that there be an affirmative motion to recommend confirmation of the nominee. The chair recognizes Representative O'Neill for the motion.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I make that motion.
All right, so it's been moved that Elizabeth Fitzgerald Machiasport be reappointed to the Maine Land Use Planning Commission. With that, next is to recognize the Washington County Commissioners or their representative. Chris, I think that's you.
Thank you. Committee members, respective chairs, I appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and obviously they represent the entire Board of Commissioners for Washington County. That is Commissioner John Crowley and former State Senator Commissioner Vinton Cassidy, who may be known to some of you there. We're a little longer in the tooth. In a unanimous move of the county commissioners, we are supporting this reappointment to the board of our county manager, Betsy Fitzgerald, to the Land Use Planning Commission. I got to say that right now. And we have found that her presence on that board has been a very effective tool for allowing for representation from our part of the state, if you will. And as I said, we would fully support and ask that the committee see that this nomination pass favorably. Thank you.
Great. Are there any questions? All right. Seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Ms. Elizabeth Fitzgerald can make her statement, please.
Good morning. Thank
morning.
you. Senator Dill, Representative O'Neill, and members of the Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry Committee. My name is Betsy Fitzgerald. I'm from Washington County, and I'm here today to discuss with you my renomination to the Maine Land Use Planning Commission. There's some very good reasons why I would like to be able to continue to represent Washington County and serve the state of Maine as a member of the Land Use Planning Commission. First, I continue to be intensely interested in anything that concerns Washington County. I love my job as Washington County Manager. Some of the stories you hear about Washington County are true. The sun surely rises here first, and we have the best natural environment, the best lobsters, blueberries, and wreaths. What is not true is all the negativity and despair. A lot of us really like living in Washington County and would not want to live anywhere else. I am proud to represent Washington County, whether here on Zoom or in Augusta or across the state. I believe the Washington County Commissioners and I have a good collaborative working relationship. My work with statewide organizations of managers, county managers, administrators, and emergency managers affords me expanded perspectives. I may not have the answer, but I know who to call. Secondly, my participation in a wide range of organizations in Washington County affords me contact to any number of residents. I work closely with other municipal managers in Washington County and with economic development organizations such as the Sunrise County Economic Council and the Washington County Development Authority. I also represent the county on the Washington County Brownfield Committee. Third, for almost 40 years, I have worked as a code enforcement officer and plumbing inspector, first in towns in central Maine and now for a number of towns here in Washington County. This has brought me in contact with planning boards and other municipal officials, taxpayers, businesses, contractors, developers, site evaluators, the DEP, and the Forest Service. As part of my responsibilities, I have assisted planning boards in crafting what I call thoughtful development and understanding the ramifications of ordinance provisions at the municipal level. These experiences have given me an appreciation for the pressures decision makers at any level must face. It is my intention to use these many experiences and perspectives to continue to guide my understanding of the impacts and implications of decisions made by the Land Use Planning Commission for half of the state of Maine. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this morning, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Ms. Fitzgerald? Representative McCray.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Welcome, Ms. Fitzgerald. Haven't met you, but it's good to meet you this way at least. I have basically two questions. I'm a former teacher, and I understand you are also for quite some number of years. What did you teach?
History and government.
Okay. My second question is a little more to the point. You've been on the RCLUPC board for a few years. What can you cite one type of activity that board does that you enjoy working hardest on?
Although this may not be something that a lot of people think is interesting, I think the rules are really interesting. And as we have been reviewing the rules and updating the rules, it's the guidance for right now, for folks now, but also for future generations. And I think somebody said something this morning about having some time. I'm on the other side of 50, so the time that I have, I want to leave the UT, half the state of Maine, in a good place, because at some point I'm not going to be there, but the rules that we promulgate now are going to impact the next generations. And I find that really kind of interesting, and I don't know what the word is other than, it's like, whoa, this is really kind of cool that I know the decision I make now. I want it to be a good decision so that 20 years from now, people aren't scratching their heads and going, what were they thinking? I want it to be smooth. So I hope that answers your question.
No, it does very well. Thank you very much. Good luck now.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? All right, seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Linda, is there anyone to speak for or against, or neither for nor against on the nomination?
I have no list for that now.
Okay.
And there's no one in the waiting room.
All right. All public comments having been taken, the committee will now proceed as follow. We can review any other written comments. We do have to vote within 35 days. And with that, the hearing by the Joint Standing Committee on Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry for Ms. Elizabeth Fitzgerald of Machiasport for reappointment to Land Use Planning Committee is closed. In accordance with the law, the committee may not take the vote on nomination sooner than 15 minutes after the close of the public hearing unless all members who are present agree. Is there anyone who does not want to take the vote at this time? All right, seeing none, the pending question before the committee is that the Joint Standing Committee on Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry recommended the Senate of the 130th Maine Legislature that the nomination of Ms. Elizabeth Fitzgerald of Machiasport for reappointment to the Maine Land Use Planning Commission be confirmed. So, would you please take the vote, Linda?
Yes, can I ask please first if there was a second on the motion?
On confirmations, we usually do not second.
Oh, okay, I had a space here for it, so I thought I was missing something. Thank you. All right, I'll start the roll call with Representative Bernard.
Yes.
Representative Bernard votes yes. Representative Osher.
Yes.
Representative Osher votes yes. Representative Schofield.
Yes.
Representative Schofield votes yes. Representative Underwood.
Yes.
Representative Underwood votes yes. Representative Landry.
Yes.
Representative Landry votes yes. Representative Hall.
Yes.
Representative Hall votes yes. Representative O'Neill.
Yes.
Representative O'Neill votes yes. Senator Dill.
Yes.
Senator Dill votes yes. Senator Black.
Yes.
Senator Black votes yes. Senator Maxman.
Yes.
Senator Maxman votes yes. Representative Pluker.
Yes.
Representative Pluker votes yes. Representative Gifford.
Yes.
Representative Gifford votes yes. Representative McCray.
Yes.
Representative McCray votes yes, so that's unanimous.
All right, what was that total? 12? Is it 12 of us or
No,
is it
13.
all 13 in here?
Everybody's
Okay.
present.
All right, 13 members of the committee haven't voted in the affirmative and none in the negative. It is the vote of the Joint Standing Committee on Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry that the nomination of Ms. Elizabeth Fitzgerald of Machiasport for reappointment to the Maine Land Use Planning Commission be confirmed. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Right, very good. Thank you all. Okay, with that, we will move on from our confirmation hearing. And I see Karen has popped up in the lower right-hand corner for me at least. And with that, we will launch into our regularly scheduled program. And with that, Karen, I will turn to you. I think probably the next thing we want to do is probably get the budget out of the way, back State Park budgets.
Yes, good morning. So I do see Evan Sipatowski, the director of Baxter State Park, is with us. And I sent you his written testimony late last night, but if you like, you can give him an opportunity to go over that. And I also sent to you, and it's been posted on the committee webpage, there are just 3 pages of initiatives in the change package relating to the Baxter State Park Authority. And there are 9 initiatives, and it's pages 29, 30, and 31. So let me know if anyone needs me to resend that to you, but you will need to vote those initiatives in or out so that we can send another memo to AFA by this afternoon.
Okay, sounds good. Welcome, Evan. Would you introduce yourself, please? a challenge first thing this morning. You have to unmute yourself.
There we go. Okay, apologies. Good morning, all. Thanks for taking this time. And would you like me to read through my testimony, Jane?
Well, I think what we'll do, if you don't mind, we'll go through each initiative. Do you have the initiatives in front of you, the budget?
Absolutely.
And if you have comments on each one, you might just kind of give us a summary of why they're here. And then what we'll do is once you've got done with each initiative, we will vote on that initiative. And sometimes they may be paired. I'm not sure if the first page, I'm just looking at it now. Establishes grounds, no. Okay, if there are pairings, we'll do the pair together, but otherwise we just go through one by one. So if you want to start, we'll go right down through, starting with, what's that, 053 or 63, whichever one that is.
53. Sure. So this is just a minor change. It says grounds and equipment supervisor because we didn't have the trail supervisor and trail labor positions created yet. So this is just a simple change to something that has already been accepted in LD 221 to rebuild essentially Baxter State Park's trail crew. In-house trail crew. We've been doing this with contractors for a while, and we're rebuilding what was sort of the envy of the Northeast in terms of a trail crew in-house, so we can retain that talent once we identify it.
Okay. Are there any questions on this particular one? Is there anyone that does not want this in the budget? What we'll do is we'll go do it this way, and then we'll come back and we'll do a roll call vote on the entire budget, unless there's someone that disagrees with one of the ones as we go through and do a roll call right then on that particular initiative. All right, seeing none, on to the next one, please.
Okay, just to be clear, we're saying establishes one seasonal Baxter Park trail crew leader position for 26 weeks. Okay, just want to make sure I'm tracking. This is part of our program to build back in the trails piece. Essentially what we are doing is we've created a trails supervisor position, and we have a trail specialist position, and this is a trail crew leader position. So this works in concert with the specialist and the supervisor to really supervise the trail crew, which we will not have until FY23 actually. So right now these folks are taking care of overseeing contractors within the park as it relates to trail work.
Thank you. Any questions? Anyone opposed to moving this into the budget? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the next one.
Great. Provides funding for the approved reclassification of one secretary position to an office specialist position retroactive to October 2020 and provides funding for related all other costs. This is a employee-initiated functional job analysis that has been vetted by the Human Resources Department.
All right, great. Anyone with a question? Anyone opposed to moving this in? Seeing none. Next one, please.
Okay, the second initiative on this page continues one Baxter State Park supervisor position that was created by financial order and adds headcount to make this a permanent position. This position is necessary to maintain field capacity at the park and to ensure the safety of park visitors and resources.
Any questions? Anyone opposed? All right, next one, please.
All right, this third initiative increases the weeks of 12 Baxter Park Campground Rangers positions from 24 weeks to 25 weeks to allow them time for end of season cleanup before winter. Essentially, we found in 4 out of 7 seasons, we were ending Campground Rangers seasons the day after camping ended, which is pretty difficult to sort of clean up and get out of there in a day. So we wanted to give them some extra time.
Great. Questions, anyone opposed to moving this in? All right, next.
All right, the fourth initiative establishes one 24-week Baxter Park Campground Ranger position as a roving ranger to provide scheduling coverage in the campgrounds and gatehouses across the park. Essentially, roving rangers are sort of fill-in rangers as we have needs across the park. Remember that these are seasonal positions with leave benefits afforded to them. So folks take vacations, folks get sick, and we need to make sure we have business continuity as that happens. So this is what roving rangers do.
Okay. Are there any questions? Representative Underwood, did you have a question?
Yes, for the park director, where would a person go if they wanted a position in with Baxter State Park?
Great question. Seasonally, we typically have a hiring pulse of activity. You can monitor our Facebook page or our website, and we have notifications about that. We accept rolling applications for seasonal positions all year long, and then we review those again, typically around December, early January, and have a hiring process that, if we're lucky, winds up by the end of February or early March. Right now, we have several year-round positions also available on our website, and encourage anybody that's interested to go there as well.
Thank you.
Are there other questions? Seeing none. Anyone opposed to moving this in? All right, next one.
Okay, the final initiative on page 30 continues one 14-week Baxter Park Winter Ranger position that was established by financial order and adds FTE count to make the position permanent. This is a seasonal position and will steward 3 campgrounds, interact with several hundred visitors, and respond to emergencies on the west side of Katahdin through the winter months. We have had staffing on the east side at Chimney Pond in the winter months preceding this past winter, but we have not had the out of winter.
Any questions? Representative Landry.
Thank you for being here. How much has your winter usage grown in the past few years?
Thanks for the question. Last year, it grew not as much as we were anticipating, given the sort of boom in the out.
Evan, we've lost you. You're fading in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing is changing on my end.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. We've had pretty stable winter use over the past decade before this past year, approximately 3,500 to 4,000 camper nights per winter period. We don't have data on day use as it relates, so I can't tell you much about that, but it's been fairly stable with a little increase this past winter.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Anyone opposed to moving that in? All right, next one.
Okay, the next initiative on page 31 establishes one planning and research associate position, associate 1 position, to support the natural resource monitoring program within the park. The park is mandated by Governor Baxter to protect natural resources above all else, and to best protect those resources, we must have the capacity to understand them. This position is crucial to managing the logistics of carrying out a multifaceted natural resource monitoring program under the Natural Resource Director. So this position, again, supports the other part of the organization that we were trying to build at this point, which is focused on natural resource monitoring and the visitor experience that results from that.
Any questions? Anyone opposed to moving this in? All right, seeing none. Final initiative.
Final initiative for Baxter State Park on page 31 provides funding to reorganize the Baxter Park Resources Manager position to the Director of Natural Resources. This reorganization has been approved by the Bureau of Human Resources and will head up the Natural Resource and Visitor Experience Department and is out there in the world, so tell your friends.
Are there any questions? Anyone opposed to moving this one in? Seeing none. All right, thank you. Any final questions? Yes, Representative Schofield.
Thank you, Senator Dill. I just wanted to say, Evan, that I am told that last week you and your folks, the Rangers, participated in the Law Enforcement Memorial Day. And I wish I had been there to witness it, but I'm told that it was very professional, very dignified, and a great tribute to those who have served the park and the state. And I just wanted to compliment you on that and thank you for doing that. Thank you.
I will pass that along. Thank you so much, Representative Schofield.
Any other questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion to move all 9 initiatives in the budget? Moved by Representative Landry, seconded by Representative O'Neill. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All right, Linda, would you please call the roll?
Yes, beginning with you, Senator Dill,
Yes.
Senator Black,
Yes.
Senator Maxman,
Yes.
Representative O'Neill,
Yes.
Representative Hall,
Yes.
Representative Schofield,
Yes.
Representative Osher, have we lost?
Representative Osher, you're
Oh,
muted.
I'm so sorry.
And your vote, ma'am?
I was talking to my son. I'm sorry.
And how do you vote, Representative?
I wasn't paying attention, so I'll have to pass. Apologies.
Okay. Representative Underwood,
Yes.
Representative Landry,
Yes.
Representative Pluker,
Yes.
Representative Gifford,
Yes.
Representative McCray,
Yes.
and Representative Bernard.
Okay, I will vote with the group. I will vote yes.
Okay.
Lori Osher.
So Representative Osher votes yes, and Representative Bernard?
I don't see her
Okay.
on the screen any longer.
She was here, so. All right, well, that makes it 12 and 1 absent.
All right, so with that, the budget passes, and we will get that to AFA this afternoon, and thanks, Evan, for being here and going through that with us.
Thank you folks so much. Hope to see you this summer.
Right. Okay, next is a reconsideration, LD 691. So we voted, I think unanimously to carry this over. So I need a motion to reconsider our vote.
So moved.
It's been moved by Representative Pluker, seconded by Representative Osher. All in favor, raise your hand. Anybody opposed? Don't see anybody. All right, so reconsideration. So with that, I will turn first to Representative Pluker to let us know why we are reconsidering this, and then we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to recap the bill for folks, this is the Harvest Bucks bill. I sent out an email to everyone over the weekend, just letting us know that this is what we're going to be doing. This is the bill that would develop a fund within the Department of Agriculture to match federal funds that are used to, once again, match SNAP dollars or food stamp dollars so that people can buy local fruits and vegetables from local farmers. This is a program that my farm has been involved in through our CSA for over a decade now. It's an amazing program in that for every dollar invested from the state, it magnifies to become almost $6 worth of local fruits and vegetables that are purchased at that will go into the hands of local farmers. So it's great for local farmers, great for folks who are having trouble finding the fruits and vegetables that they need to keep their family healthy. And we are reconsidering it. We had voted before to carry it over. And so we're now looking at just trying to move it along to the AFA table. So, because there are a lot of funds there right now that we weren't expecting originally, and hope that we can get it funded. This is something that died on the AFA table in 2020, where are we now? 2020, as we went home from COVID. And I believe Nancy McBrady might be in the waiting room. I don't want to take up a lot of time, committee time here on it, but just if we could briefly hear from the department about why they support this, that would be great.
All right. Before I do that, Karen, anything you want to add before I ask Director McBrady?
Not really. As Representative Pluker just mentioned, we had a bill LD 920 that is the language is identical. The appropriation was considerably more in 920. It was 250,000 for each fiscal year, and this bill 691 has 50,000 in each fiscal year. That's the only difference that I see. So the committee, it was the majority, 11 voted in favor of 920 at the time, and as Representative Pluker said, it died on the appropriations table. It was actually voted in the first regular in 2019, carried over in appropriations, and then died on the appropriations table when we adjourned abruptly. So.
Okay.
And Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I left out a key portion of my presentation that Karen reminded me of. I'd like to amend the bill so that it's back to the $250,000 level that we had in 2020.
Okay, so when we get to the motion, that's what you can make for the motion.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Director McBrady, welcome this morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nancy McBrady. I'm the Director of the Bureau of Agriculture, Food and Rural Resources. It's nice to see everyone on the committee this morning. I am happy to be here in support of LD 691. All that Representative Pluker said about the merits of this program is something that the department supports. We do believe that there is room to enhance current nutrition benefit programs that are federally funded but require significant match, which oftentimes can be irregular or burdensome to the groups that are trying to provide that match. So if there is a way for our department to facilitate that important match and make those important connections to food insecure people, to allow them the choice to access local foods, nutritious foods that are produced in Maine, and at the same time benefit local farmers, enhance their sales, and allow for greater strength in our local food economy. I think it's just a win-win situation. And another thing to mention is that we're not going to be making anything new here. These are existing programs. The infrastructure is already in place. So it's just something that we can put our shoulder behind and help advance. So happy to answer any questions you may have.
Great, thank you. Are there any questions for Director McBrady? All right, seeing none, I will turn back to Representative Pluker. Do you want to make a motion here?
Move ought to pass as amended, with the only amendment being the increase to $250,000 for the fiscal note.
All right, seconded by Representative Landry. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none. Linda, please call the roll.
Yes, beginning with you, Senator Dill,
Yes.
Senator Black,
Yes.
Senator Maxman,
Yes.
Representative O'Neill,
Yes.
Representative Hall,
Yes.
Representative Schofield,
Yes.
Representative Osher,
Yes.
Representative Underwood,
No.
Representative Landry,
Yes.
Representative Pluker,
Yes.
Representative Gifford,
Yes.
Representative McCray,
Yes.
and Representative Bernard
I don't
has
believe she's
not
here.
returned.
Nope.
Okay. Then that makes 11 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 absent.
Representative Underwood, is it ought not to pass? Is that your report?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so the vote is 11-1-1 on LD 691.
Could I just make a quick comment, Mr. Chair?
Back to support farms and address food insecurity. Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you to the committee for doing the reconsideration and supporting the bill. And we will be seeing something coming from the AFA in terms of how we want to set our priorities for funding for bills coming out of the committee. And this is a bill that literally magnifies our state dollars multiple times through matches and grants from the federal government as well as from private sources. So I would just encourage you to rate it highly when it comes time to that. And if you have more questions, please give me, reach out. Thank you.
Right. All right, with that, we will close the work session. Reconsideration on 691. And I will turn back to Karen for some language reviews.
Yes, so I have quite a few. I just sent you the list this morning and everything's been posted on the committee webpage under the appropriate LD number. So the first one, I'm going to start with fiscal notes. The first one is for LD 657. This was the fiscal note for the majority report. This is an act to clarify the law enforcement powers of the Bureau of Parks and Lands. And there is a fiscal note required. However, it says it's a minor cost increase to the general fund. Any additional costs to the Department of ACF and the Department of Public Safety as a result of the changes to the laws regarding ACF's authority to appoint park rangers and staff with law enforcement powers are anticipated to be minor and can be absorbed within existing budgeted resources. Any questions about that?
Seeing none.
Okay, the next one I have is the fiscal note for LD 1299. This is an act to permit emergency funding for food banks when a state of emergency is declared. This was a unanimous committee report, and there is a fiscal note required because the bill authorizes the governor to distribute up to $400,000 from the main budget stabilization fund during a state of emergency to certain nonprofit entities, which will reduce the balance of the fund. The exact amount by fiscal year cannot be determined at this time and will depend on when and if a state of emergency occurs and how much funding is authorized by the governor. Any additional costs to the Department of ACF to conduct rulemaking regarding the manner in which the funding will be dispersed are anticipated to be minor and can be absorbed within existing budgeted resources.
Questions? Representative McCray.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Karen, so here is a maybe we'll need the fiscal amount, heaven forbid, but maybe. So how is that going to be treated as far as when it gets to the appropriations table? Are they going to have to reserve funds in the amount of $400,000 just in case, or what?
I'm speaking out of my wheelhouse right now, but I'll take a stab. I think just by virtue of the fact that it could have a potential impact, I mean, it could impact the balance in the budget stabilization fund. That's why there's a fiscal note. But as you say, there's no dollar amount associated with it. So, I don't know how appropriations, it will go to the appropriations table.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, continue, please.
And the last fiscal notes that I have are for LD 519, an act to protect children from exposure to toxic chemicals. It's been a while on this one. So there was a majority report and a minority report. The majority report bans the use of glyphosate and dicamba rather than all synthetic herbicides as proposed in the bill within 75 feet of school grounds. And the prohibition does not apply to agricultural land or residential property. So there is a fiscal note required, minor cost increase to other special revenue funds. And it also directs the Board of Pesticides Control to establish a medical advisory committee to evaluate the potential impact of herbicides used on school grounds and on human health and complete a final report of their findings by February 1st, 2022. And then any additional costs to the department to complete additional reporting are anticipated to be minor and can be absorbed within existing budgeted resources. Again, no dollar amount, but there is a associated cost with the medical advisory committee. And then on the minority report, this exempts herbicides. So it basically went with the original LD, but it exempted herbicides used to control plants that pose a dermal toxicity hazard as such as poison ivy from the prohibition on the application of synthetic herbicides within 75 feet of school grounds. There is a fiscal note required, and it's one of those. Any additional costs to the Board of Pesticides Control as a result of the prohibition on synthetic herbicides under certain circumstances are anticipated to be minor and can be absorbed within budgeted resources. Any questions about those? All right, on to language review. You've sort of seen this one before, but I did post the minority report to LD 1599, an act to establish a Maine pesticide sales and use registry. The majority report is ought not to pass, but you've kind of seen this before. It strikes the requirement that the board post information received by pesticide distributors and applicators on a publicly accessible website maintained by the board. And it also strikes from the bill the list of information required to submit to the board's online pesticide sales and use registry, as most of this information is already required under statute and corresponding rule by the board. The amendment also struck from the bill the list of information required of applicators, and it also struck provisions related to a certified applicator using integrated pest management. So it just sort of pared down the original bill and refers to providing information that's already required by rule. So that's the gist of that amendment, and it's posted on the web, and it's the minority report. Any questions? The next one I have is a majority report for LD 264, an act to prohibit aerial application of perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances. This is something that Representative Pluker had worked on with the department. So it strikes out the act and replaces it with a resolve directing the Board of Pesticides Control to gather information relating to PFAS substances in the state. And it's essentially putting all of his bulleted list into place. So the board shall amend rules governing the registration of pesticides in the state to require manufacturers and distributors to provide affidavits stating whether the registered pesticide has ever been stored, distributed or packaged in a fluorinated high-density polyethylene container. And it also requires manufacturers to provide an affidavit stating whether PFAS substance is in the formulation of the registered pesticide. It also requires the board to conduct a study to determine if fluorinated adjuvants are being sold or used or sold in the state. And the board is directed to explore what is needed to regulate fluorinated adjuvants in the state, and to also explore what is necessary to impose a prohibition on the distribution or application of pesticides or adjuvants containing PFAS substances in the state. And then finally, it directs the board to develop a feasible definition of perfluoroalkyl or polyfluoroalkyl adulteration in a pesticide. And the board shall submit a report with their findings and recommendations to this committee in January 15, no later than January 15 of next year. And then the committee is authorized to submit a bill based on that report.
Karen?
see Representative Pluker's hands up. Yes,
I'm just having a hard time finding the language that you're looking at.
sure. If you go, I can either screen share it or I can direct you.
Is it on our website?
Yes. Yep. So if you go ACF committee materials, committee meeting materials by LD 264, electronic committee LD file, and it's committee amend at ACF, majority report. Are you finding it?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay.
I was looking under criminal justice. Thank you.
That's where we are in the session.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Appreciate it. Everything you said sounded right. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right, and then the next one I have is LD 808. This is an act to clarify the funding for the University of Maine Cooperative Extension Diagnostic and Research Laboratory. So there was a majority report and a minority report. The majority report strikes the bill, which was a concept draft, and it replaces the title, an act to repeal the pesticide container fee and tick laboratory and pest management fund. And it has an emergency preamble, and it essentially just repeals Title 7, Chapter 419, which is the fund. No, that's in Title 7. Yes, that is the Tick Laboratory and Pest Management Fund. And then it also repeals Title 36, Chapter 725, which is the pesticide container fee statute in the taxation title. And then it also repeals the Section 3 of the Public Law 2019-548. So the only difference between the majority report and the minority report is that the minority report does not have an emergency preamble. Any questions about that? No? Okay. And the last one that I have is LD 125. So I'll start with the minority. So this is the committee amendment to LD 125, an act to prohibit aerial spraying of glyphosate and other synthetic herbicides for the purpose of silviculture. So what the minority report did, and it's basically technical in nature, it strikes sections 2 and 3 of the bill, and it clarifies that the prohibition on aerial application of glyphosate or other synthetic herbicides for the purpose of silviculture also applies to timber harvesting activity conducted with the Forest Practices Act. And then the majority report strikes out the act and replaces it with a resolve that establishes new setback standards for aerial application of pesticides in areas next to water bodies and residential homes. So this is essentially Representative McRae's chart that he presented, and I won't go through it, but it directs the board to amend rules relating to setback standards for aerial application of pesticides in shoreland areas and areas next to permanent occupied homes. And it does explicitly say that any amendments to the rules are major substantive. They are currently major substantive rules. And then it sort of describes how the board shall amend its rules. So you will be seeing this again when it becomes a major substantive rule resolve for the legislature's approval. So those are those 2 reports. Any questions? Nope.
See any?
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. With that, don't forget, unfortunately, we do have a meeting, but it's on Friday this week. It's 2 confirmations. When we tried to get it done on Thursday, It was because of the time span of advertising and stuff. So we had to do it on Friday. So we have 2 confirmations at 9 o'clock on Friday. And please try to be here if you can. Should only be, you see how fast our confirmations go. We shouldn't be here more than a half an hour. I don't think Karen has anything else to bring us either.
I may have some fiscal notes. I do
Okay.
have quite a few
Okay.
that are waiting. So I may have some stuff for you to review, but I think maybe after that, it might have to be by email.
Okay. So anyway, just so we have a quorum to be able to do our confirmation. So with that, if anybody has anything else, I don't see anybody's hand. We'll see you on Friday. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn, and by Representative Landry, seconded by Representative Randall. All in favor? Thank you all.
Thank you.